Hi, I'm Dina Lydia, and I just want to ask you what you're doing in Olympia today.
Well, I'm Craig Salins. I've been the staff director of Washington Public Campaigns. Several of us were down here today for a public hearing on two companion bills dealing with the state's initiative process. And one of the bills would have required that any advertising that is done in support of or against a state initiative, a ballot measure, that advertising has to disclose who's paying for it. And the other bill would have, for the first time in the state's history, have limited the amount of money that could be contributed per donor to a ballot measure to the same as for a state campaign for office, and that amount is $1,600 per year. That second bill that would have limited the money would directly fix what's broken about our state initiative process. What's broken about it is it's gone for sale. In 2010, over $57 million was spent on 9 ballot measures and 1 referendum. That was 4 times more per ballot measure than had ever been spent previously in the state's history. A year later, in 2011, we all watched with horror as $22 million was spent by a single entity, essentially buying an election result on a ballot measure. We think that this is just absolutely wrong. It needs to be fixed, and the way it needs to be fixed is to pass state law that would restrict how much money can be spent on ballot measures to a reasonable amount. Unfortunately, the bill that would have restricted money did not pass out of committee today. We think that that's really a shame, and we hope there might be a way to revive it. Possibly it could be revived as an amendment to a future bill before the bills are finally enacted. Definitely, we think that the citizens of the state need to take action on this and demand action by their legislators. One of the things we need to recognize is the initiative process was passed in the first place as part of the state's original state constitution as a way to give voters, ordinary citizens, some control over even what the legislature did. The initiative process allowed ordinary citizens to collect signatures and put forth a proposition. If it got enough signatures, then it was on the ballot, and voters could vote yea or nay against it. What we've seen happen in recent years is that process has been totally hijacked by really big money. It's been abused or taken over by corporate interests who may be well-meaning, but frankly, they care more about their bottom line and their stock price than they care about the health of our state citizens or the health of our state economy. We need to get the initiative process back so that it's truly citizens' initiative, not corporate initiatives. And that's why our organization supports this pair of bills today. It may take more than a year for us to get these changes enacted, but we feel we really have to do it. Frankly, the question is, who is our democracy for? Is it for corporate interests and special interests that have a lot of money but are not even people, or is it for we the people? We've got a serious problem in this country, which is we have to reclaim democracy for we the people. It's going to be perhaps a long struggle. It's going to take a lot of careful organizing. We have to do it. Some of the details in the bills. House Bill 2499 would require disclosure of who's buying ads in favor of ballot initiatives. And here's the point. Voters should not have to hire Sherlock Holmes in order to tell who's buying the ads that's trying to influence elections. And voters should not have to find ways to keep their bearings in the virtual tsunami, the blowing winds of money that is flooding our airwaves and flooding our mailboxes. The question is the right of the voters to protect the democracy that we have. If we lose our democracy to really deep pockets and special interests, then we will never get the kind of policies so that families and households can thrive and flourish. And that's why these issues are so important. So thanks for the opportunity.